Okay, so I took a break-even trade today. As you can see with this price action, um, it looks like a break-even day, or it looks like a day you take a loss. So I'm fine with breaking even. I manage my risk well in a day like today. It's a Friday, late in the afternoon, or sorry, late in the morning session. And yeah, so let's just go over this. So on the daily here, doesn't really give us much right now, to be honest with you. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on the daily. The 4 hour, you can see I was a little bit like I was a little bit stuck with where I wanted to see price go. I mean, the 4 hour, obviously we have that bearish trend right now, but then if you go to the 1 hour, we were respecting this hourly fair value gap really nicely. And so what I wanted to see for shorts was if we were going to inverse this 1 hour, then I'd be looking for shorts. If we were going to hold it, I'd be looking for longs. We ended up holding it. We're still holding it. So that was my condition for this session. And you can kind of see like the market really doesn't know where the fuck it wants to go right now either. So like usually when it becomes a little bit harder to form a bias, I'll notice that the market also just chooses to consolidate, um, which is a good sign. It means that I'm good at assessing a bias normally um, because if I'm going to assess it as being long, then it's usually long, short, usually short. But then on days when I don't really know what it's going to do, it usually does this. Now, granted, I had, like I said, a nice area here where I could decide whether or not I wanted to, if I thought this session was going to be bullish or bearish. Um, so because we didn't inverse this hourly and we were respecting it, and at the end of the day, like there wasn't anything on the 4 hour. I mean, I don't trade order blocks. You can say, I guess this is an order block, right? It could react off of and go lower, but like there wasn't a fair value gap on the 4 hour. There wasn't a fair value gap on the hourly that was unfilled that we could bounce from. Like this was filled already multiple times. I didn't really give it too much importance. So my whole idea here is either we inverse this hourly and go lower, or we hold the hourly and this will be the next POI. Now, for this trade, like I said, we held the hourly, so I was looking for bullishness. We chopped around for quite some time. We're still chopping around now. Happy to be out of this trade. But yeah, we're still chopping around. What we did here though was we swept the low on NQ here. I don't know if we tapped into, well, we're using the hourly again. We're using the hourly, so but so we're using the hourly fair value gap. We swept the lows here, and then we had a really nice reaction from that and ended up inversing the two 5 minute candles. So aside from the fact that we were in some choppy price action, we had manipulated and then we had a nice pump higher. So I was willing to put some money down. And so I entered, I don't know, right around like here or something. Uh, my 1-to-1 would have been this high. Like I said, that was my point of interest. If we now ideally I'm able to take like ideally my 1-to-1 isn't exactly where I want price to go. It's like I'd ideally be able to just take my piece of the pie and get out. Like I thought that price really would have had to rally for me to have this get hit on a Friday. So I wasn't really too happy with the point of interest, but that was really the only way to get a 1-to-1. Um, I knew I was going to break even pretty quickly, so this was a trade that I came into it knowing that most likely it would end up being a break even trade. I wanted to be in this trade though, just in case we were able to catch a pump. Um, and you'll see my break even on NQ was actually this high, so we didn't tap it. However, this is where SMT has come into play really nicely. I was looking at ES and I had this marked up and I was just waiting for us to tap that because just in case we got an SMT, which is what we ended up getting, I'd be out. So once we took that, I broke even, and then price came back to my entry, and that's that. So break even trade today, ending the week slightly down. Um, and that is that. We'll see what the rest of this session really has to do for us. I don't know what is. I mean, it just looks like it's going to continue chopping, but who knows? Um, but yeah, that I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Um, yeah.